So next up, our second album this month is Loner by Barry Can't Swim. And yeah, I remember when we reviewed, you know, I should say this was my pick for this month. I think if I hadn't have picked it, it probably was in contention for you as well, Kylie.
For sure.
Both big fans of Barry's work, and I think I remember when we reviewed his album back, was it October 2023?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because he was nominated for the Brit Prize. Yeah, it was one of our main points with that album was, this is great, but imagine if it came out in the summer rather than in autumn. And I remember I probably played uh when oh god, what's the debut called? When Will We Land? Yeah.
Yeah. 2023 would run. Yeah.
Yeah. I played that last summer a lot. And I feel then like yeah, July or August 2023 would have been a better time to release that record, or even, last summer. But yeah, it seems like he probably heard us as he's tapped into probably the seasonality of his music this time around, giving us an album in July. And yeah, I think for me, it's another really enjoyable summer record. I think sonically, there are some differences between this album and the last one. I think when Will We Land it was mostly like this, quite chilled out experience, really soulful, quite tribal in its rhythms. Whereas this time around, there are those, harder, made for the club moments, goes a bit trancy. Case in point, the opener, which then goes into different, the synths on those two songs sound like, alarm telling you that this is about to go off. It's like, it's like a warning, and then the big beat drops come in, and later on in the track list you got About to Begin, which has that, as you can probably tell by the name, has that similar kind of energy. It's very kind of Chemical Brothers influence on that song, which obviously naturally gonna love it. Still Riding, which I think was the lead single. Different vibe to that track compared to something like Sun Sleeper or How It Feels off the last record. So yeah, I think that's the noticeable difference between this album and the debut for me. Is he's definitely, he's done this with festival season and maybe those bigger shows in mind. But that said, I think everything that was great about that last album is still here as well. He has his poet friend, Seamus, who gives us those moments that are similar to Deadbeat Gospel on the debut.
I'm really enjoying those collaborations. They're building upon them on this record. I could do like a whole album of those two together, or at least an EP.
Absolutely. Those heady beats and then, a bit of spoken word poetry. That's right up my street, as we'll probably find out next month with my pick for next month. But yeah, I'd say there's still like that. If what you enjoyed about his debut was that soul influence and the globetrotting sounds, yeah, you still get that on here. Songs like Kimpton, All My Friends, Cars Pass By, like Childhood Sweethearts, all of those I would say wouldn't have sounded out of place on that first record. He's kind of given us more of the same on that, and I'm quite happy. So yeah, it's basically Barry giving us more of what was great first time around, but then he's, like I said, he's kind of almost like beefing out his live set list with those more intense electronic numbers that are just going to send people nuts at festivals or in a live setting. And I think overall, I probably still prefer the debut just about, but this is one, no sophomore slump. And then, yeah, just a very good follow-up to that first album. I'll just bring in Andrew's notes on Barry Can't Swim's record before we then move over to you, Kylie. So for Barry Can't Swim, an improvement on his debut. So I would say maybe not quite, but Andrew, it was improvement on his debut. Nice and cohesive. Duo of Kimpton and All My Friends, the high point on the album. Like Alex G, is a bit inconsistent with some more forgettable dance numbers, but again, a good effort. So another thumbs up for Barry Can't Swim from Andrew. What did you make of it, Kylie?
Yeah, I think almost beat for beat, I would say the same things that you did. Yeah, I think this is a good continuation of that debut record, and there are some bigger bangers on here, which uh, I really enjoy. As much as my dog hates the opening track, "The Person I Like to Be." We've tried it a few times, and I realized I've just got to listen to that when she's not around because
The headphones.
not yeah, not a fan.
Wasn't it on pitch, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
it's that siren, in the back seat of the car. She's not happy. Um, like, yeah, and I just have to say too, like Andrew saying Kimpton and All My Friends being the highlights. I would agree. I love those tracks too. Um, I just can't help but think about kind of uh in 2025, like Moby, like
Mm,
what a joke slash forgotten kind of, you know, creator he was. I think he still puts out records. But like Kimpton and All My Friends, those are straight, mid 90s Moby
for sure. Yeah.
influence written all over that. And as someone that loved Moby during that time, I'm on board with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the continuation of the world music. I think my favorite tidbit um, that I read was for the last track, "Wandering Mount Moon," which is a gorgeous track. And then you read the little factoid that Josh Mainie Barry heard the string part in the bathroom in an Indian restaurant and Shazammed it and built a track around it. So I think that's pretty funny, pretty cool.
I love
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I mean, continued love of Barry. I am starting to mourn the jazzier influences that he had on his first singles and early EPs, and kind of what pulled me in. But uh, that being said, I'm happy to be along for the ride and continue to loving his music as he grows.
awesome. Yeah, I love that tidbit. That's the alchemy that goes into song making sometimes just blows my mind. It's like I was watching I saw a clip where it was like showing how the string beat on Faint by Linkin Park was made, and it was like it they basically took it from a snippet of From Russia with Love by James Bond. It was like one scene. There was like this bit of the soundtrack. They literally put it in, reversed it, did some magic to it, and it's like blows my mind. I love stuff like that.
And then probably just sample it live, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So so yeah, that was Loner by Barry Can't Swim.